Isaac. It's Saturday, and I've been locked up in the house for all week. Haven't been outside, so it's a nice day out today, nice and sunny. So decided to go for a quick little bike ride by myself, so that I can control the distance between myself and other people, but still just get some air, I guess. So I hope you're all doing all right. It's been a crazy week, so get out there, have fun, stay away from other people, but social distance in a responsible way. And if you can't, just stay home. It's better for all of us. So, hey Siri, play Run the Jewels on Spotify. I want to talk today quickly about kind of maybe show you why I think these new big bikes are the replacement to our old BMX bikes. And the first thing I usually tell when I tell people that, the first thing that I usually hear is, how can a 29-inch bike feel like our old 20-inch bikes, and geometry and things like that? So I'm going to try and explain this in a way that makes sense to me. Hopefully it makes sense to you. All right, so I don't have my original Haro Master or the bikes I owned. My first bike was an SE Henderson Hauler, and then I had a Haro Master. From the Master, I got a Skyway Street Beat, then oh man, what did I do? Oh, I rode my buddy broke a Hutch Trickstar and then gave it to me, and I sent it back to Hutch, and they sent me a Trickstar 2. I rode that for like a month. I didn't like it. The last freestyle bike I rode was an Ozone, but I lived in the Bay Area and we all had Ozone. So for a lot of people, they're like, oh, Holy Grail bike, but everybody had them. You just drive the factory, and they would sell them direct to you for, gosh, maybe 100, 150 bucks or something like that. It was cheap. So anyway, I don't have one of those bikes here, so I'm probably just gonna put one up on the screen to try and show you the way the geometry is the same, and the way we set our bikes up as kids is actually the way that our bikes now, these 29s, are set up. But visually it's kind of hard to see, so I'll explain it to you. So let's check this out. All right, so this is my 29-inch Big Ripper. Okay, so if you remember, the biggest change I think is going to be back here in the rear triangle. So if you remember your chain stays on your BMX bike, there was a big enough gap down here that I remember I could put my foot in there. Or if you remember doing cherry pickers, where you would put your foot in there, step over the top if you were a freestyler, and stand on the seat tube. Now, modern bikes, very little distance right here. So our old bikes, imagine this being stretched out, and so you had a longer back end. And to compensate for that, to make the bike easier to ride and wheelie, we would put a lean back seat post, a lay back seat post, to sit farther back. So our weight, when you rode those 80s bikes, was actually over the rear tire. Now, this is a straight seat post. Now, if I were to put a 80s bike next to this bike here, the angle of that seat post, where it sits kind of over the tire, the geometry on a modern bike, you can do it flat with just that straight seat post, and you're sitting in this area. On an 80s bike with a stretched out rear triangle, the lean back seat post, or that S-drain tube that Dyno used to make, and that would put your seat back. You know, how far did you think about those lean back seat posts? They were good 2, 3, 4, 5 inches lean back. So that would put your seat back where this seat just comes naturally. So just riding this bike stock is going to make the back end feel like the bike you rode in the 80s. The other thing they've done, put bigger bars on it, so it's not little tiny short cruiser bars. These are 8-inch bars. I have a regular front load stem, and then just a big wheel. A lot of the bikes, because kids, the kids that are riding these and buying these, will slam the seat post down and then angle it, and that throws a lot of old school BMX guys off. But if you think about it, they're setting up their bike the way that they ride. So if you didn't watch any of the wheelie videos, they do a lot of combos where they stand on the seat and sit on the seat, and they're jumping from the seat. So the seat is angled down like this, because when the bike is up in a wheelie position, their seat is now flat and they can lean on it, sit on it in a wheelie position. Is more comfortable for them. So don't let the look of someone's bike turn you off from seeing this. I ride my bike mostly to work and back, and I like to do wheelies. That right there is comfortable for me. Having my seat post up that high makes my bike fit me like my old BMX bike did. So hopefully this helps you understand when someone says modern geometry, what are they talking about? It's a shorter rear end, and that for me personally, when I was looking at bikes, I was like, I don't want that, because I want to ride the bike like I used to. And then it dawned on me, our seat posts used to lean back farther, and so this is actually this solves the problem that we were trying to fix by making our small bikes a little bit bigger. So if you look at all your old bikes, if you ran a laid back seat post, you basically have the geometry you see right here. And the difference between like the sizing, if you just want to look at your bike, go ahead, build it, man. Build it up, hang it on your wall, do whatever you do. I want to ride my bikes. I loved riding bikes. So for me, riding these things are fun. So go out, ride your bike. Don't discount these big bikes because you don't think it's like a traditional BMX bike, because it actually is. It's just a bigger version of that. Now the other thing that that I'll point out. Being an adult, if I go to my kid's school for parent-teacher day and I have to sit in like one of those little tiny chairs, my knees are kind of buckled up like this, and I'm sitting in there. If I have a choice of what chair I'm going to sit in, I'm going to sit in a chair that's a normal sized chair. So I hate to be the one to say this to you, it's a little reality check, but you're not the same size that you were when you were 14, 13, 15. So as a grown-up body, the bigger bike actually fits you the same way that your adult-sized chair that you sit in at the table fits. So it is a little bit taller, but if you get out, ride one for 2 minutes with a seat that's a little bit raised up, ask your bike shop to raise your seat up, find someone with bigger bars, or the stock bars that come on these are pretty tall as well. You'll get an idea of what these bikes feel like, and I think you're going to see that they're real similar to what you remember. So hope this helps you understand the geometry of these big bikes and why, you know, if you grew up BMX and you rode BMX, why I feel you would feel right at home on this. Your body hasn't forgot that it loves BMX. Your mind, obviously, if you're watching this video, remembers how much fun you had. And these big SE bikes, these big whatever brand you decide to go with, I can only speak to like the SE bikes because it's what I've ridden. I've ridden some GTs, ridden some dynos, rode a Haro 26. They all feel like home. So come back to BMX. It is a BMX bike. You can do all the old tricks you did. I literally put a front brake on mine, and that gave me the ability to do like tail whips and boomerangs, just without even getting a longer without a gyro or changing anything out. So you can still ride, have fun. These big bikes are where it's at, so give them a try. Have fun, go ride your bike.